Welcome to Trivia Viral. Our channel covers all the latest analysis and recaps on TV shows and movies, as well as interesting stories and facts that you may not have known. So sit back, relax, and subscribe to our channel if you have been enjoying our videos so far. Just like the way most episodes of the show are, this one depicts a world where people allow themselves to be sucked into technology to the point of detachment. It shows the power struggle that undergirds political systems and how it damages the population and the individuals who are elected by them. This episode touches on how this is achievable due to the ability to hide yourself through the use of various technological means. We meet a failed comedian who pretends to be a blue cartoon bear that is generated using the technology of motion capture. It embarrasses politicians and other authority figures by trapping them in interviews. It's as though the interviewees are being called to appear on a children's TV show, but they're actually appearing on a late-night, topical comedy show. The cartoon bear is very popular with people and has been given his own series separate from the comedy show. But even though the character is successful, the comedian behind it is depressed and unhappy with his life. Immediately after, the comedian has received a complaint from a conservative politician who was in his interview. The pilot for a television show starring the cartoon is commissioned. During a session to brainstorm ideas for the cartoon pilot, the producer who owns the rights to the cartoon jokes that the character should go to a real by-election to see if he can beat politicians. This is so the political cartoon character can stand against the conservative candidate from before as a form of revenge. Initially, the comedic actor opposes the idea, as he is worried about joining the world of politics. He reluctantly agrees that he should go ahead with it. They head out on a campaign tour, putting up a large image of the cartoon on the back of a campaign van to show that they are running. They drive to wherever the conservative candidate is campaigning, putting on a giant video screen on the side of a van. The comedian appears as the cartoon and continuously goads the rival. He meets a woman who is running as a Labour Party candidate, though it is pretty much a given that the Conservatives will win. In spite of the fact that she does not stand a chance of winning, she is campaigning to further her own political career. They go out drinking, and the comedian explains how frustrated he is that he is stuck playing the character. Meanwhile, the woman admits that she knows she will not win the election. When they finally become intimate, they eventually have a one-night stand. Although they initially agree to continue their relationship, the woman's campaign manager warns her not to get close to the comedian. She is told to stay away. The comedian can't understand why she is suddenly avoiding him. Because of this, he starts to hate career politicians as a whole. One day, the cartoon character gets invited to participate in a student-organized workshop alongside the other contestants. The event is televised as a special panel show. During this show, the conservative candidate describes the comedian's mostly unsuccessful television career and claims that his efforts are meaningless. He ridicules him by saying that the cartoon is just a joke and that the comedian hasn't done anything substantial. This video is sponsored by QD. QD is Asia's largest platform for students, tutors, and coaches to match up for lessons. Sign up at QD today. It causes the comedian to become furious and attack every other candidate on the panel, accusing them of being more artificial than a cartoon. The candidate for president of the Conservative Party and the woman he was involved with are exposed for being disingenuous career politicians. He spills that the woman is using the election only to promote herself, and that this was why people no longer believe in politicians. Later, he is embarrassed by what he has said, but his rant on YouTube becomes viral, and he receives media coverage. The cartoon wins more people over while the women's campaign quickly fails. The Labour Party then distances itself from the woman. The cartoon is soon being interviewed by a popular journalist. The comedian is reluctant to remain as the character, but after being threatened by his producer, he decides to continue to play the role. Afterwards, they meet with a spokesman from an American agency who explains why the cartoon character is ideal for spreading political messages abroad. The cartoon has the potential to become one of the world's most important authority figures thanks to his independent stance, much to the disdain of the comedian. After a heated argument with the producer, the comedian decides to withdraw himself from the project. He apologizes to the woman for what he did, but she refuses to listen. She is furious that he has damaged her career. So on the final day of the campaign, he returns to his old role as the man behind the character, but he is overwhelmed by guilt and breaks character in the middle of the rally. He pleads with the public not to vote for the cartoon. Out of desperation, he gets out of the van and tries to smash the screen. The producer quickly takes on the role of the cartoon and rants relentlessly to try to provoke people into attacking the comedian. As a result, the comedian is sent to a hospital. During the voting process, he watches the election results from a hospital bed. Surprisingly, the conservative candidate wins by a narrow margin, with a second place to the cartoon while the woman holds the third position. But the producer is not satisfied and tries to get the audience to riot. In the end, It is shown that the comedian is homeless and has moved to live in the streets. Some cops then command him to move elsewhere. He sees the cartoon being shown on every television channel as a part of a huge political advert that is broadcast on a global scale. He starts angrily yelling and throws a bottle at the screen, but the police then taser and subdue him.
What are your thoughts about this story? Let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe if you would like to see more similar videos, and give us a thumbs up to get more recommendations of our videos. Be the first to watch the latest videos by clicking the bell icon. See you on the next video.